In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and most merciful. Dear student, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I wish you that everyone is fine and healthy along with your daily activities. May Allah all protect you from all kind of disaster. Today I'm just delivering my lecture number 11, that is regarding the subject of business ethics. So the points that we are discussing and we discussed in the previous lecture was about the responsibility of the social responsibility of the corporation or CSR. Now we are discussing the next remaining portion of that. We discuss about different types of CSR and types of corporate social responsibility. We discuss about the social responsibility, responsibility towards the government, responsibility towards society, responsibility towards the employee, responsibility towards government. We discuss all about these. Now the remaining types of the CSR we discussed, that is today the topic regarding the business ethics responsibility towards shareholders. It means that what are the responsibilities of the shareholder of the CSR and toward the shareholders. The primary responsibility of management is to ensure a fair and reasonable rate of return on investment that can be determined on the basis of difference in the risk of business in different fields of activity. With the growth of business, the shareholder can also expect appreciation in the value of their capitals. To build reputation and goodwill of the company, to remain transparent and accountable, to work for the survival and growth of the concern, to ensure a reasonable rate of return over times. So these are all those responsibilities toward the shareholders of the corporation that they have to perform. So shareholders, as you know, that these are all those direct and indirect assets of organizations or those people that they are having either direct or indirect share in the organizations. So what are the responsibility of the corporations in regard to the shareholders? The primary responsibility, the main responsibility of the corporation or CSR is toward the shareholder is regarding the activity that is run in the business to be free of the risk, and the shareholder should not be given the loss regarding the investment that he has done it in the respective organizations. The main thing that the CSR have to do, they have to work for the growth of and development of the business, that what the shareholders expect from the organizations. It means they have to do it their last efforts in order to give benefit to the shareholder, not lost. As well as these CSRs or the corporations should work their hard in order to make the companies or the organization one of the most famous and reputed companies in the markets, which really impact a positive impact on the shareholders. Besides this, the CSR should remain transparent and call himself being accountable to the shareholders. Transparency and being accountability is one of the main responsibility of the CSR toward the shareholder. The shareholders are thinking regarding the CSR activity or the company that it's running very well without any loss, it's running very nicely without any problems, and everything, the activity which is running inside the organization is transparent, and the shareholders the companies who are always directly involved in the business activities are always feels that we are accountable for our shareholders, and these CSR should work for the survival and growth of the concern of the shareholders, as well as they should have to make sure that all the reasonable investment that is taking place inside the organization has a positive impact on the on the life of the or shareholders. نو دا موږ د کې دا وایو چې د یو د CSR یا د صنعتي او تولیدي کمپنیو مسؤلیتونه چې دي د خپل شیرهولډرانو یا د سهامدارانو په مقابل کې څه شي دي، یعنی سهامدارانو په مقابل کې دا وی چې همیشه کوشش وکړي ترڅو تجارت ته صنعت ته پرمختګ ورکول شي او د فائدې بیا سهامدارانو ته ورسیږي، نه چې دا موږ تاسو فقط وخت پکې تیرو خپل تنخواه اخلو یو څه نه څه لاسته راوړو زموږ سهامداران ته پکې تاوان رسیږي، نو چې دا اخلاقا تندرست کار نه دی. یعنی که چېرته موږ په کمپنۍ کې په مستقیم ډول په تولیدي شرکتونو کې فعالیت ترسره کوو، باید زموږ فعالیتونه دا په نظر کې ونیسو چې زموږ هم ځان دپاره هم د نورو دپاره خپل فعالیت ترسره کوو. نو په دې اساس باندې باید موږ او تاسو د ټاپ لیول مینجمنټ په دې فکر او تصمیم کې اوسېږي چې کوم ریسک او خطرونه چې شیر هولډر بیا په آینده کې ورسره مخ کېږي، د CSR وظایف نه یو وظیفه او ریسپانسبیلیټي هم دا نه چې دا مشخص کړي او بالاخره د همدغه مشخصو مشکلاتو ته بیا د حل لاره پیدا کړي ترڅو شیر هولډرز ته منافع فایده ورسیږي او تاوان نه. نو په دې اساس باندې د CSR چې کوم هولډرز دي دوی باید ډېر شفاف وي په خپلو کارونو کې او خپل انسان با مسؤلیت او با احساس او با مسؤلیت او پیژني خپل سهامدارانو ته هغوی ته د اطمینان ورکړي چې موږ ستاسو دپاره دلته فعالیتونه ترسره کوو. همدارنګه responsibility towards the consumers د CSR چې کوم مسؤلیتونه دي د مشتری په مقابل کې کوم مسؤلیتونه به دوی ترسره کړي، هغه goods must be appropriate standard and quality and be available in adequate quantity at reasonable price. همیشه باید CSR دا کوشش وکړي چې مناسب او معیاري او با کیفیته مواد او اجناس باید مشتریانو ته ورسوي په کافي اندازه او په مناسبه بیه سره. دا د CSR مسؤلیت دی د خپلو مشتریانو په مقابل کې چې مناسبه اندازه او قیمت سره په مناسب وخت کې کافي اندازه با معیاره اجناس دوی مارکیټ ته عرضه کړي. This is the responsibility of CSR toward the consumers. The same as management should avoid resorting or hoarding or creating artificial scarcities as well as false and misleading advertisement. همدارنګه لوړه مدیریت برخه چې کوم د دوی باید د احتکار څخه مخنیوي وکړي او په مصنوعي شکل سره قیمتي او قحطي باید رامنځته نه کړي چې دا په خپله یو نوع د غیر اخلاقي کار دی او غلط او ګمراه کوونکي اعلانات ونه کړي ترڅو مشتریان په غلط شي ګمراه شي د پروډکټ په مقابل کې. نو په دې اساس باندې دا د ټاپ لیول یا د اعلی سطحي مدیریت دا مکلفیت دی، د مسؤلیت دی د مشتریانو په مقابل کې چې مصنوعي قیمتونه او قحطي رامنځته نه کړي. Consumer interests are thus protected to some extent with laws and pressure of organized consumer groups. The same as management should anticipate these developments, satisfy consumer needs and protect consumer interest. The same is in competitive market, serving consumer is supposed to be a prime concern of the management. په داسې یو رقابتي مارکیټ کې د مشتری ته خدمات عرضه کول او هغوی ته خدمات رسول دا د اعلی سطحي مدیریت د یو ادارې په اصلي وظایفو کې راځي. But in reality, perfect competition does not prevail in all product markets. In the event of shortage of supply, there is no automatic correction, sir. So these are all those responsibilities that the CSR should fulfill and place against the or towards the consumers. The same is ethical behaviors. Another important point, that is ethical behavior at workplace. په کاري محیط کې موږ او تاسو باید د اخلاقي رویې څخه څنګه استفاده وکړو. نو در محیط کاری ما باید از رفتار اخلاقی باید استفاده کار بکنیم. So what is unethical behavior at workplace? It might be include attending personal phone calls during your duty time or stealing office supplies for personal use. Organization usually creates an ethical standard code or a manual is handed over when someone new employees joins, which generally lists the rules and guidelines which needs to be adhered at all the time. Many issues prevent business people from being completely ethical, consistent and fair. Ethics is a dynamic issue, and sometimes it is called to decide at a specific moment what is considered ethical and what is not. So we have to be very careful at working place that we have to keep ourselves away from all those unethical activity that is really disturbing the workplace. The behavior which is really disturbing and annoying the employees within the workplace should be avoided. So, like for example, misuse of the office supply should not be improperly utilized, as well as during the official time, the time and when the time shouldn't be wasted, as well as whatever there's personally some supplies of the items should not be used with the organization. So these are all unethical practice or behavior that is taking place. So almost we have to be careful regarding all these activity. دغه ټولو موارد په مقابل کې باید موږ تاسو د هر هغه فعالیت چې هغه غیر اخلاقی وي په خپل کاري محیط کې دغه څخه موږ مخنیوي وکړو، ځان ساتنه وکړو. همیشه د کاري محیط کې موږ د صداقت او رښتینولۍ څخه د زیار وستلو څخه استفاده وکړو، تر څو موږ کولی شو هم د ادارې مسؤلیت په ځای شوی وي. زموږ او تاسو هم موږ تاسو مکلفیتونه په ښه شکل ترسره کړي د الله په نزد او د بنده په نزد باندې موږ شفاف اوسېږو. مثلا د دوکې او چل فریب څخه باید موږ تاسو همیشه مخنیوي وکړو. Now these are all those activity that shouldn't take place during the workplace. So ethics is always focusing in order to do the right things at the right place at the right time. Do not do the wrong things at right place at the wrong time. So that's why it's very important that being as a individual in the society or working place where we are working, we are responsible to be very informative, transparent and accountable, and very much stressful regarding our work's activity. The same is there are some basic attributes of ethical workers. In order to be ethical at the workplace, the worker should possess some of the common attributes. The most influential attributes are the following. دا چې موږ تاسو په کاري محیط کې کار کوو، بعضې ځان ته مشخصات دي چې باید موږ په نظر کې ونیسو. دغه په نظر کې نیولو سره موږ خپله وړتیا او خپله صداقت وښیو. نو په دې اساس باندې په یو کاري محیط کې موږ تاسو چې کله اخلاقي کارونه ترسره کوو، اخلاقي کارونه نه موږ استفاده کوو، دا په زموږ خپله د اخلاقو په تطبیق یو مهم رول لري. سو به این خاطر ما بعضی از نقاط مهم در اینجا یادآور میشیم کدام که در رویه اخلاقی محیطی میبخشیم. در رویه اخلاقی سر رویه خوبی و بدی معمولا سرانداز میباشد. در اینجا مهم dedications. این هرگاه که ما در جای کاری محیط کار میکنیم، جایی که ما ورک پلیسز ما هستیم، باید ددیکیشن خود را نشان بدیم و خدا وفق کنیم، خود قربانی کنیم به خاطر که به دست آوردن اهداف اداری ما و شما، چیزی که مشخص شده. ددیکیت یعنی وقت ما و شما قربان شود، انرژی ما و شما ددیکیت شود. So dedication is one of the most important attributes of an ethical workers. Factory to do seek result, but most employers look for an honest effort from employee who can be considered unnatural at the job. When employee joins the workforce, he or she is agreeing to offer the best for helping the factories to flourish. So for that reason, all the employees who are being newly recruited in the organizations are showing their full commitment and dedication to work. And that commitment in work and shows their trustworthiness and truthfulness in the organizations. It is considered an ethical actions whatever the people are following all these activity. So there are some other important points, and that is integrity. نقطه دیگری که مثلا در جایی که ما کار میکنیم از صداقت خود استفاده کنیم، از راست بودن خود استفاده کنیم، integrity خود را نشان بدیم. So integrity or displaying honest behavior at all time is a very important attribute. Integrity might mean being honest in reporting or being transparent while reporting cash transactions. ما باید صداقت خود را در هر مرحله، حتی در مسائل مالی خود صادق باشیم، دروغ نگوییم، یعنی صداقت خود را نشان بدیم. امو در محیط کاری ما شما از این اخلاق باید استفاده بکنیم. So that is integrity. Second one, that is accountability. ما باید احساس مسئولیت را بکنیم، ما احساس ذمه‌واری خود را مثلا احساس ذمه‌واری بکنیم که accountability مو دوم نقطه امرای ما در یک محیطی که در اونجا ما زندگی میکنیم و محیط ما کاری باشد. So it means accountability, it means to be responsible toward the time and duty during working hours. ما باید مسئولیت و ذمه‌واری وقتی که ما شما برای ما داده شده، وظایفی که برای ما شما داده تا سالهای ما شما برسان مثلا داده شده و او باید کار کنیم، صداقت خود را، مسئولیت خود را، ذمه‌واری خود را پورا بکنیم. It also means accepting responsibility, gathering you and willingly working towards unacceptable resolutions. Taking initiatives and being punctual also comes as an accountability. The third point, that is collaboration. همکاری باید ایجاد شود درمیان کسایی که مثلا کارمند یکی داره باشد. So collaboration صورت باید بگیرد، همکاری صورت بگیرد، teamwork صورت بگیرد. So teamwork and collaboration are valuable attributes. As most companies believe that if morale is high and everyone co-worker success will follow, therefore it is important for employees to be team players. While the next point that we are discussing, the conduct of the employee who is working in a specific organizations, employee conduct is a very important value in ethics. So employee must treat others with respect and show appropriate behavior, wearing proper attire, using fine language and conducting with them with the professionalisms are a part of the job. So وقتی که یک نفر در یک کاری محیط کار میکند، از لحاظ لباس باید مجهز باشد، درست باشد، منظم باشد، یک رابطه خوبی معامله کارمندای دیگر داشته باشیم، یک رابطه مثبت و یک رابطه پر از خلوص و محبت و باید صورت بگیره. و جایی که مثلا ما کار میکنیم برای کارمندا همه قسم یک از زبان شیرین استفاده شود و از مسلکی توب ما استفاده شود تا که ما بتانیم امو مسئولیت خود را در مقابل که فرد هستیم در جامعه او را ما به شکل درست انجام بدیم. So collaboration, the next point is being better workers. ما باید یک کارمند بهتر باشیم وقتی که در یک جای کار میکنیم، کاری محیط یعنی تنبلی و لطی یا بی‌اعتنایی به غوری ما باید مثلا دور باشیم. being better workers باشیم. Understanding how to be a better person in the workplace is a good starting point for a committed to always doing the right things. So the next thing, that is trusting relationships. تعلق بعد اعتماد سازی باید ایجاد شود. It is important to build trust in workplace relationship by following people to open up, share information and feel comfortable in communicating are signs of the trustworthy of employee. Honesty, fairness and avoiding rumors are some basic quality which shouldn't be taking place in the organizations. The same is team cohesiveness. من حيث یک تیم ما که باید کار بکنیم با یک احساس به یک دیگر بدیم که ما وابسته به یک دیگر فعالیت های زندگی با اساس همکاری یک دیگر ما با پیش بریم. So the ethical commitment of employee have a positive impact on teams and department performance. Apart from enhancing individual performance, an ethical employee is a better team player who always make positive contribution for teams and never hinders the group's process. So that is to be taken for the virtue of good values of the organizational ethics. Value on employers. Trust in their employee is a very important quality. خود اعتماد سازی، اعتماد کردن بالای کارمند خود یک معضله مهمترین و معضله هستند. An ethical employee can drive either group in legal trouble or can destroy the hardened earned reputations. یک کارمندی که مثلا بد اخلاق و بد سلوک باشد میتونه که یک نفر یک گروپ را با یک مشکل حقوقی طرف موقع حقوقی مثلا سبب بکند، ایجاد کند برایشان و همچنان شخصیت انسانی که شهرتی که انسان به دست آورده او را از بین ببره. So ethical employee working for any company or the employee who adhere to ethic policies and use ethical reasoning in making decision. The same is personal wellness. So ethical employee always increase value of an employer in the public domains. Unethical acts weigh people down with guilt and paranoia, making them hostile and fearful. Employee who spread unethical rumors or lies about others can have paranoia as they try to remember which lies they told to or whom and when. So we have to be, that means that in regards to, we have to be very careful. Wisdoms and knowledge. The talent to gather information and convert it to something useful is a great quality. Wisdom is capitalizing one's experience to interpret information and is being knowledgeable to produce wise decision. A prerequisite to being knowledgeable is knowing what to do and being able to differentiate between the right and wrongs. We have to be careful regarding these attributes. An employee should have to be wise and knowledgeable in regard to some issue, what is wrong, what is right. در مورد علم مثلا ما شما کسایی که مشخصات دیگری دارای مشخصات دیگری باشد که یک نفری که در یک جایی که کار میکند یک کاری محیط باید خود پر از برکت علم باشد، علمیت داشته باشد، همه قسم زیرک باشد که امی توسط این امی زیرکی و علمیت خود خوب و بد را تفکیک بتواند. So the same is the next point, that is self-control, which is also the major points for the attributes of the working at workplace. So it is important to have the ability to avoid unethical temptations. The decision to take ethical path needs enough commitment to the value of good ethics. So ethical people usually say no to the individual gain if it is irrelevant to institutional benefits and goodwills. The same is the next, justice and fair guidance. हमेशा कोशिश करें कि ما از انصاف و عدالت استفاده بکنیم و در راهنمایی خود ما باید به انصافی انجام ندیم. So fair treatment of people is important. So justice is served when a fair return is gained in return for the energy and efforts expended. So certain individual gives special treatment without regard to objective criteria by which to judge fairness. In the same time, we have to be very much careful regarding the workplace where we are working to show our love and kindness among the organization staff or other members. So the expression of love and kindness is always productive in organization context. Love means intense positive reaction to co-workers, group or situations. محبت خودی برای ما یک نوع جذبه و انرژی مثبت میده که برای کارمندا ما یک انرژی مثبت برای آنها بتیم تا و از آنها ما بتانیم به شکل درست کار خدا بگیریم و به هدف خود اداره برسانیم. Courage and integrity is the another quality that attributes that should have که خودی صادق بودن و جرأت داشتن خودش یکی از مشخصات یک شخصی که در کاری محیط باید داشته باشه. It's very much important. So it is important to have a courage to act ethically and with integrity. So these values let us decide right from wrong and act accordingly. They impel one to act in the right manner without considering personal consequences, even it is tough and need benevolence. So this is all some of the attributes that one should have during the workplace, and we should have, if we follow all those good and positive points, I'm sure we would never fail, but we will always be successful in our life. But unfortunately, most of the people in the organizations are not properly taking into consideration all these points. That's why they are facing on the spot with a lots of problem, and by tomorrow when they are facing with the next situation, with the next new life, they are not so much prepared for that. So it's very important that we should have to keep all these positive attributes in ourselves and try our best to implement them in our real life. May this bring a positive life as well in our personal life, as well in the life of the working place or working setup, as well as in the life of a country. So this is what today we discuss about some remaining portion of the CSR. Wish you all the best. Have a great time. May Allah protect you from all these mischievous problems that humans are facing today with. So thank you. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Wish you all the best.